Hello, I'm Ghast.
And I'm Nico.
And today, we are doing another Realm update. We did one in January. We try to do them every 6 months. And just like, look at this. This was different before. Then a year ago, it was more different. And I think that might have been the first one. But these things are new. I haven't done much work here. But we're going to look at the city. This is our main survival realm. It's 100% survival. We're going to look at the city. Then we're going to look at Nico's base. So this is kind of my base, then we're going to look at Nico's base. You ready, Nico? This is new.
Yes.
Over here, I have not put, this isn't 100% done. I got to put some more plants here, like this. And inside the building is also not done. But hopefully next time you'll actually get to see this finished. In here, there's just a bunch of floors. And then at the top is finished. It's kind of like a party. But then the city is an abandoned city because it's dead. So you can see like the pool is broken and it's supposed to be like an infinity pool, which is where there's glass over the edge, so it looks like the water just doesn't stop. It's broken and there's some icky things in the pool. There's a helicopter, but the helicopter is broken. And everything's kind of decrepit. This big grape juice jug fell over.
Look at Nico, look at Nico, look at Nico. Ah!
Oh, my out!
Okay, we gotta stop punching people.
I just screamed, oh my ouchie. I still have not built the backside of this building. I think this was here last time. It's the big fallen building. It's a big fallen building. But at the following building. Why can't I say building? Building. There's new this way and that way. Nico, which way do you want to go?
I wanna go to that way.
Okay, so we still got Meat Slab. This is the Lag Cafe. It's still not done because I'm saving the interiors for some reason. But inside all these buildings are farms, so these buildings are just kind of hiding the farms. But
Ow.
sorry. This is the museum. It is a big museum. It is also not done yet, but it's kind of coming close to completion. I've been grinding away at it for a bit. There's this exhibit, and there's going to be some signs here talking about early humans. You can see. I didn't fully repair this. Oh, Nico, there's a slab missing. A creeper exploded here, and it wrecked this glass.
Alright.
I gotta fix that. But inside here, there's gonna be a lush dome with parrots and pandas. Nico, do you want to talk about your 4-month adventure while I go fix this?
Oh yeah. There was.
Oh, sorry.
So I had to get the pandas through the overworld since we didn't want to explore much of the Nether.
Because the Nether update wasn't out yet.
And it took me a lot of time. I mean, I didn't do it straight like 4 months because I kind of like had no more fun doing it since it was. I still wanted to get the pandas in, but it was not really that much fun anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I came close. The panda, a husk decided to get in the boat, and I couldn't get him out, and so
She traveled them by boat instead of by bamboo because that's kind of less stressful.
Yeah, I accidentally shot the panda, and then I tried to breed 2 of them so I can have an extra panda, and then the other one rolled over and died.
There's gonna be a little elevator that leads to a rooftop garden. I planned this all out in my other world, which is creative, where I plan out these things. There's gonna be a big rooftop garden here. But yeah, these are all buildings. You can see how much city progress has been made. There's also 2 more things here. There's gonna be some... On the other side there, you saw that big empty area. There's gonna be some fossils hanging down, a little bit about fossils. There's gonna be an elevator there, which is another way to get to the rooftop garden. And there are 2 more attractions in here, not counting these creepers. There is the aquarium. You can see some tiny fish. Yeah, I like to use the pufferfish as tiny fish because look in the corner, they're just like really tiny little minnow fish. Here is the big main tank. Here's just like a standard tank. Here's a tank, but it's red, and it has red fish and red in it. This is not done. This is just my water source. And here is a touch pool. There's a ton of these, which are not done yet. These are going to be little tiny things. So this is the surface with a tide pool. This is in between. This is the open ocean in between. This is the floor of the ocean. And this bit will be the deep ocean. And then you walk through here, and now you're in space. And that's what the second attraction is. It's space. It's a planetarium. This one is finished. The history exhibit is not 100% finished. It's like 80%. This is the only thing that is 100% finished. But you got Mercury and Venus and all the planets. And the snow melted again. Global warming.
You missed the concrete.
Oh, they're gonna say I typoed.
Shoot.
Yeah, it's fine. They're gonna say I made a typo because there's a ton of typos. I typed this really late at night, and then Nico is just like, the planet is big. Also, they're glass giants instead of gas giants.
The third planet is the third planet.
Yep, but this is the asteroid belt, so I wanted it to look like a bunch of tiny weird textures floating. So this is a concrete with a bunch of dead corals on it, and it's a weird concrete shape. But because it's all black concrete, it's really hard to tell apart, and it just looks like a ton of things are floating weirdly. Also, I had to emphasize the us in Uranus because it wouldn't let me type Uranus. It would kept bleeping it out because Minecraft detected the word anus. So I had to highlight the anus blue. Also, Pluto's not a planet and Plant is not a planet. And then this leads into the aquarium, so they lead into each other. But yeah, over here will be some cool things. And that's the museum. This has been here for like a year and a half, 2 years now. Actually, no, the city's 2 years old. This has been here a year and a half. These are the rich people houses. I have not done anything on them. But next to them are some really cool things. You got a barber shop. It's got a mirror. It's not a complete mirror because it's too thin. I didn't plan that out correctly.
Is this a motorcycle?
No. This is literally just, my shulker boxes were full, and there was 2 stairs and 1 terracotta, so I placed it down to get room. I can build that at your base. That could be a motorcycle. I'll show this one next, just because it's not done. There's going to be a building here, so that bit won't be as weird floating. But this is a pet store. Going to be twice as big, because there's going to be, like, a thing here, a bigger thing here. There's going to be plenty of things everywhere. Yeah. This floor will have, like, here will be some rows where you can buy, like, pet food, cat food, dog food, toys. There will be the check-in booth, the cash register, and up here there'll be a bigger emphasis on various pet places. So there'll be, like, a fish tank, and you can buy a fish, and a place where you can buy dogs and cats and things. And because this is survival, I have to genuinely move them. So we have a nether portal link from a taiga that we just use for dogs. Then... Aw, man.
No!
Next is the candy store. I've yet to move this chest out, but it's a pretty standard store. It sells honey and concrete, or wool, yeah. Wool, which Nico calls candy, and golden apples, which are like candy apples. And it's a standard little shop. This was the first one I made, so it's nothing crazy. Then there is the plant store. The plant store has these little healthy robots, because it's an apocalyptic city, so I wanted the plants to not all be dead. So this is why the plants aren't dead, but some of the robots are broken. So there's some robots that just take care of the plants. And these actually function as shops, so you can actually buy actual things here, but it's a nice place with... I didn't put these mushrooms here, I don't think. I think these mushrooms... but there is behind here with mushrooms, and I think those mushrooms genuinely spread up to top. There's this nice detailed table with some trapdoors and some signs. There's just a lot of little details everywhere because I wanted the entire place to feel crowded, but in a very homely way. So like how if you have a shelf and it's full of tons of little knickknacks and things, but for the entire place. So here's a smaller table, here's a watering robot, and then, this is the most recent one. It's the D&D tavern. So this is a tavern where you could go in the city to play D&D. So there's some die here and a lot of little tables. You could sit down and play with some friends. And up top, you walk through this weird little place, and there is a tavern top. And you may have noticed that the second story of... Actually, the third story of the plant store, the second story of that, and the second story of that are not used. Well, that is intentional. This is also not done. There's a pattern. But you would walk up these stairs, and this is how the owners would actually get to their houses. Because there's no robots here, everything is dead. And it's weird because the walls are really bright, a bright vibrant green, but everything's dead in here. So in here there's a bathtub, there's a bedroom with a painting that keeps popping off because it's on a chunk border, and some more beds. But yeah, the entire street along here is going to continue along with various things, and there's going to be a lot of room to fill. So if you have an idea for like, not a candy store, a clothes store, or another store, please leave it in the comments. These would be like traditional, you go to a shopping mall or a place and there's real stores where you can buy things from. Yeah, thank you very much if you have that idea. So some things that I'm not sure if I fully showed off before, but over here is a very steep hill. Here is a very, like, slow descending hill. So I had them connect together, which was something that there wasn't before. So there's a steep hill, here's a less steep hill, and they fuse together. And become a less steeper hill. But at some point over here, I wanted a cool little pond. So I thought, what if I keep making the hills get sharper and sharper overhangs? And you can see it over there. Just like everything, it's not done yet. But you can see the hill slowly gets steeper. And eventually, it ends up being really steep. And I forgot to put blocks under there, so now there's just floating grass. But if you ignore the weird floating grass, the hill gets steeper, and the hill keeps going. A little detail I did that tied the city together was adding streetlights, and this building fell, so it broke a couple of the streetlights. But I didn't add a ton, but this entire street going along, which I won't show because there's some cool stuff at the end, has streetlights. They're not over there yet, and they're not up at the bit where we just were. But if you walk down here, there's just some standard buildings, nothing crazy. But you can see it now at the end. There is a pile of rubble, and also a gap next to here. There's going to be a post office here, but I haven't finalized the design. So it's going to go from here to here, and there's just going to be a post office. Or maybe I will put a post office somewhere. But you won't be able to see all this grass and stone. It will just be a building. And then this weird pile of rubble, and so there's 2 destroyed buildings. So the rubble's all flowed in, and that caused this wall to collapse, so now this wall is collapsed here.
Oh, you meant this giant wall that you didn't fill in, and you're like, okay.
No, there's gonna be an inside for this building. Probably sooner than the other ones, because it'll be like you can see into this floor from the side. But then there's gonna be probably more standard buildings along here. Maybe the road will actually continue along there and there'll be like a third street, like up here yet. But this is the other side of the museum. This is perfectly mirrored to the first one, except for the sidewalks subtle or go up. Except for the sidewalks more subtle ascent, and I haven't put banners on any of them yet, but it's the same as that side. But yeah, there's gonna be more cool things. Oh god. Wait, hit me and we'll do a transition. Alright, in the nether, I don't think anything crazy has happened. We got a little pit of striders, and we got a piglin. We got a piglin that we trade with. Nico named him Baby Daddy. No, but I don't think anything crazy has happened here, so let's go to Nico's base.
Okay, not much has happened in my base, except for Ghast sleeping in a villager's bed and stealing his head.
I will steal his head if you want me to.
Anyways, nothing has happened except that Ghast bought all my freaking fish. And,
For the aquarium. All these double chests were full. Actually, I think that one was like 3/4.
My sheeps are gone. I think they were gone the last time. And also there's these people. They kind of froze for like a little bit. We're back!
What?
We're back!
It didn't go back. I placed it. No, I had Silk Touch. It placed it over here.
Anyways, nothing's changed. There's some stuff that changed on my
Yeah, so this is Nico's village. There's Nico's base. The village hasn't changed much because she hired me to work on it, and I've been working on the city. But I'm going to work on that next. Because my goal for summer was to get that street done, and aside from the post office, that street's almost done. And I might move the post office somewhere else.
I'm just so done with gas already. Okay, there's a thing.
How much has changed since I've last been here? I haven't been here in a couple of days.
Not much.
Like a month. Nico was gone for 4 months with the panda, so that bit up there with the shops and the top part of the city, she wasn't there, so I got to show her that one.
Oh yeah, Pig Step's here. Here, we can listen to it.
Give us the tour of your base.
Okay.
Are you sure you don't want me to add that in post? Because it might be too loud. Okay.
Oh, the bones! Yeah, this part. Okay, it's not complete. But, this is not going to be furnace room.
To the monument.
Give me my fix it back.
And this is the monument. There's an ocean monument over there, and we are draining and clearing this entire area out. Last time we had a this big dent, and we made a really big dent in the last couple of weeks. Oh yeah, no, I haven't been here in a couple weeks, and all this has been cleared out. It was like to here. Now it's all the way to here. So maybe next time it'll be like all the way, half the way, third the way done. But this is like an eighth, I'm pretty sure. The last time we were way less. So if we keep up that pace, we could be done next time.
I kind of also made like this thing way too big.
Yes. This is way too big for a monument perimeter. It should go like to here. Nico made it way bigger.
50 blocks from the
center.
very end sides.
A lot has changed. It doesn't feel like much has changed. We don't have crazy new projects to show, but maybe next time we will. Or maybe we'll just continue on.